Welcome to Jackal DIY and Tech. In this video, we'll do the DIY stuff. And I have some basic maintenance to do on this vehicle. The first thing that I'll do is change the filter. So let me just pop this up. And just so you know, I'm doing all of this for the first time. So if I can do it, you can do it. This is the filter. It is, in my unprofessional opinion, this is quite dirty. I do have a new one. So I have JPN, which I think is from Japan. Probably doesn't really mention who the manufacturer is, but JPN. So just a comparison, new one, old one. When it comes to the size, this one might be a bit smaller than the old one, maybe a millimeter or two smaller than the old one, but it should fit right in. And I don't think it makes any difference how you position it, this way or the other way. So I'll just put it in like so. I have a bit of an issue with the last clamp. I'll see if I can use the pliers to pull it up. Doesn't seem like I'll be able to. So what I will do is make double sure it fits, and I will clamp the last one first, if that will make a difference. I guess this one is just tight, so let me take a screwdriver. Maybe this one will work a bit better. Okay, finally got it in. That one was really tight. The other three were easy. So job number one done. Next thing on the list were these spark plug wires and the sparks themselves. What I need to replace these is, well, basically this one is shut. Let me take the pliers. I had some ignition problem. Maybe the wires were not an issue, but they do appear to be now, because this has broken off for the second time, if I remember correctly. Now the car still starts, but occasionally it won't start. But that is maybe the issue with the fuel filter, which I will do at the end. So I will replace these cables one by one, and also the spark plugs. For the spark plugs, you need a tool something like this one. It has a rubber inside, so that once you unscrew the plug, it holds it in. So just like this. Now this spark plug is dirty. If that affects the spark, I have absolutely no idea. Let me show you how the new one looks like. This is the new one, and this is the old one. They look exactly the same, but this one's new. So I will use new ones for all of them. Put it in just like so, and guide it into place so you can screw it in. So this one is definitely not in, so something is not good. What I'll have to do is take this off, so I have a bit of an easier access with my hand. So changing the spark plugs is definitely a pain, and you want to be doing this when the car is cold. Now I took the protective cover off because I couldn't get a nice access to the spark plug. And why do I say it's a pain in the butt? Because the spark plug has to be at the correct angle so it goes into the threads. So I use the old spark plug to make sure that it fits, and now I will put the new one in, and I will use this spark plug as a guide to see the direction and the angle of it. So this one is the old one, it fits, the new one should also fit, because it is basically the same when it comes to the size. Now I just have to guide the spark plug in and eyeball it so it's the same as the spark plug on the left. So in this case I have to hold this piece to the top right section, and now it is going in easily. Previously it got stuck in the first or second thread. Finally, that is one spark plug done. Let's go on to the second one. As you can see, it comes out easily, so it should also go in easily. If it doesn't, you have an issue. As you can see, this one's going in easily, so maybe only that one had an issue. That's two. Oh, look at that one. This one too had the cable broke. And lastly, I have this one. And let's see if I can actually pull this off. I can. So the spark plugs are done, and the next step is to replace the cables. I'll be doing them one by one because each one has a different length, and hopefully the ones that I have are the correct size. Now the ignition coil, this one has numbers on them. It has 1, 4, 2, 3. If we take a look at the spark plugs, this is 1, goes to this one. This one is 4, goes to the last one. Then we have 2, is this one. And lastly, the 3 is this one. If you don't have the numbering, make sure that you take the order how the wires were connected before you dismantle everything, because this has to be wired up correctly. Now I have here an ignition cable kit from Stark Automotive. So these are the spark cables. This will go onto the ignition coil, and these ones will go to the spark plugs, and as you can see, they have different lengths. So this one is the longest one, this one should be 1, then this one will be number 2, number 3, and number 4. But let me just see if I can first take the old ones off. Okay. So luckily I got all of them off and nothing was stuck inside. It could probably happen that this would get stuck inside and you'd have to get it out. Now how I will connect them is from the top to the bottom, because I'll have an easier access that way. So the last one is number 3, it goes to this one. So let me lay out the cables. So this will be the last one. This one is the longest one, is number 1. So 2 has to be the longer one of the 2. And lastly, we have the 3. But now, if I want to connect them in order, I have to go 3, 2, 4, 1. So that is number 3. Number 1, it clips on easily. Then we have number 4. Nice. And lastly, number 1. Nice. And now I will just take them off and put the new cables into this space. Is that it? Should I not hear a click or something? So let me see if this one clips in. It should. Okay, so that one clipped in, but number 1 did not. This one is number 2. And lastly, we have the number 3. So this was quite easy to do, apart from this first spark plug not wanting to go in. I will now put this heat protection on. And now before I do the fuel filter change, I'll just make sure that the car actually does start up and I have no issues. Cross my fingers, hold the fist, whatever you do, wish me luck. We have liftoff. Nice. So that was a success. 2 out of 3 at the moment. Now for the fuel change, we have to take out, let's see which one was it. It should be something with fuel. So I don't have a relay, I have a fuel pump. And I have fuel. So I think I will have to take out the fuel fuse, because what you want to do is take this out, turn the ignition on for maybe 5 seconds so that the pump empties somewhat, or that the fuel inside the engine burns out and no extra fuel gets delivered. So maybe what I will do is also maybe take out this fuel pump, and then I will try to disconnect the fuel filter, and hopefully no or very little fuel will be inside. So let's see, this one is for the fuel pump, and the fuse is this 15 amp one. So maybe if I just take this one for the pump out, and just for a good measure I will also take the fuse out for the fuel. And that should be it. I will now try to start the car. It shouldn't. Maybe it will, but it won't run for long because it should not be getting any new fuel. So what you have heard the second time, that is exactly the issue that I was having. So it's quite likely it's the fuel pump that needs to be replaced. I'll just have to reposition you a little bit. So let's go to the lab. Now the only thing that I did take a look at is how to replace the fuel filter. And once you've done the cleansing of the fuel, you have to disconnect the minus on the battery, which is this one. And that's because you don't want the fuel to, burn up and get any fire and other damages. Now I do see one potential issue, and that is that the canister that I have is not the same as this one. Will that pose any problem? I have honestly no idea. I would have to test this out. How flexible is the tubing? Flexible a bit, but not that much. So let's take this off. And also when it comes to the fuel, you'll want not this kind of gloves, but synthetic ones, probably the ones you use in the kitchen, because they're thicker, and maybe they have specific ones, because as you might know, the skin absorbs everything, and well, fuel is a liquid, and it will be absorbed fast. So that is the battery disconnected. It's not making any contact. So I'll put it like so. Have some paper towels for the next step and see what we can actually do, because this is all the way back and well, I don't have anything. So I'll probably have to do this with one hand, which kind of sucks. So one wire does go to the fuel filter. Maybe that's for the indication inside the car that, you should replace the fuel filter. The new one doesn't have that. But I think that should be good in any way, even if I don't connect it. This one too is from Ridex. Not sponsored, they were just the cheapest, so I got the cheapest stuff, because I have no idea how long this car will last. So this is how this fuel pump looks. It's the same as that one, except that one on this side has a metal clip or a metal pin, and the clip goes on top of it. So now I have to check where the fuel goes. So in this case, this one goes to the engine. Does this have any indication how it flows? It does not. Hopefully this is just a replacement. Oh, it does. It says out. So out meaning that this will go into the engine. So the replacement, so this replacement should be a 1-to-1 fit minus the fuel indicator. Will it really be that easy? Really? Wow, okay. But maybe I should have disconnected the other side, because this is the out. And if I just put this down, the fuel will go onto the ground. So what can I do? I can maybe put it back, and the fuel got onto my hand immediately. So the first thing that I'll do is put the white gloves on. So put these gloves on, and I'll put the other gloves over them. Doesn't look pretty, but it will have to do. Now the one thing that I'll do to prevent any fuel spillage, or at least minimize it, is I'll take the caps off of this new canister and simply put them over, and make sure that this one, while it's not capped, is inside the box. So I got the fuel filter out. Now the caps did not help. This one still leaked fuel, so I'll have to have it horizontally. And as you can see, this one is a bit different than the new one. It has this clip, and I think this clip or the pin is the indicator for the fuel filter that lights up in the dash. So this is something that I will not have with the new fuel filter, but that should be okay, as this fuel filter has not been changed in a very long time, and it also might just be an original one. So let's add the new one in. This mechanism is pretty simple. You just take it off, clip it back in, and that's it. At first I had no idea what these clips were for. Maybe I would have to take them off. No, just leave them, clip it on, and that's it. So that should be it, right? That easy? Damn, that was easy. So hopefully, again, fingers crossed, wish me luck, the car will start up. But before it can, I have to put the battery back and also both the fuse and relay. Because what we want to do then is give an ignition, not start the car, just put it into the standby mode a couple of times, so that the fuel pump sends the fuel to the filter, and once the filter is full, it will be able to deliver the filter to the engine. And the moment of truth, put the car into ACC, nothing yet, put it to on. This will then engage all of the systems, even the fuel pump. Turn it off and do this a few times. Maybe that's already it, we'll see. I'll do it one more time and then I will start the car up. 3, 2, 1. And the project, well done!